things. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Oh, man. Oh, to YouTube if you want to follow. There you go. All right. Just some people asking for the link. I always like to do that. Otherwise, I'll forget. So, got to take care of things as they come along. So, today, or at least on this one, we are talking about when we are helping others, are we celebrating it or are we bragging? And I'm going to tell you something right now. I know I've helped at least one person today, but I have no idea how many people I've actually helped. I don't know. God doesn't give me that count. God doesn't tell me, Dion, because of your actions, this is how many people you have helped today. Right? Now, I appreciate all the effort that a lot of people put in. I really do. I appreciate any effort that you are putting into another human being. Mm-hmm. As long as we're doing it altruistically and our intentions are good. But what are we really doing here? Because it seems like it's the norm. We go help somebody, we take pictures or whatever, we put it online, we state their name, or even if we don't, what are we going for here? What are we doing? Okay. Now, there's a couple sides to this. One would be the recovery side, AA, your principles, peer-to-peer led groups is probably more appropriate to that. Celebrate Recovery, Smart, Sobriety, and we got all these different places. Now, why is it that when we go into a situation where we're being paid for it, that suddenly we feel the need to go online and brag to people about what it is that we are doing? See, the other side is business. So guess what? I'm going to give you the business today. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I will be your host today. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. This will not go on for a while. I have therapy in 40 minutes. So it's not like this can go on for a while. All right. Now, there are a couple of sides of this. I've asked a lot of my friends to write me reviews, give me recommendations, things like that. Absolutely, I have. See, the key for me anyway is I let other people brag for me. I can't do it. Now, I'm very good at what I do. I know I am. It is, but I can tell you now, it is nothing short of a gift from God. Okay? It is only by the grace of God that I sit here right now in front of you talking about this. Why is that up? Oh, it's the medallion store. Okay. All right. So I went to AI about this because, I wanted to bring you an educated one. I'm not here to rant. I'm not here to put anybody down, at least not in particular. If you feel like I'm putting you down, I apologize. I mean, We do need the professionals, but the problem is we alcoholics, I don't see the professionals. Okay. I do not see like therapists and counselors and stuff and going on and bragging about how well their client did today. Okay. Now we're going to go to people like recovery coaches. Okay. Now I think recovery coaching is a great concept, but the action of it. Okay. So now we have a recovery coach who went and got a couple hundred hours of education, and now they think they're a professional. Okay. Recovery coaches, peer support, you don't have clients in my eyes. In according to COPA and things like that, sure they are clients, but to me, you don't have clients. You have customers. You have people that you help. Okay. Unless there's letters after your name. What would be some of the people that are more professional? Interventionists would be a great one. Where they you got to go to be a good interventionist, man, you got to do a lot of education. And they have earned those little letters after their name. They have clients. Okay, you got to earn that status. So we run around. Right? But why would we do this? Why would you feel the need? Okay, not only that, but there's a couple of things in AA. We call it anonymity. Keep other people's names out of your mouth, man. And you don't get to post them either. Okay. Anonymity. In the clinical world, they call that HIPAA. And I see recovery coaches blowing HIPAA every day. You know, it's like you think that you're a bike rider in Denver who thinks they have the right of way because you're from Boulder. That's what it's like. Okay. Sorry, bicyclists. No, you don't have the right of way at all times. Sorry, but no, you don't. And I didn't have my driver's license most of my adult life, and I rode a bike, so I get to say that. Okay. I rode a bike most of my adult life, so I get to say things like that. So I went to AI and I said, what would you call it if I helped someone out and then went online and bragged about it? That's what I asked. And this is what I got. It gave me a what I was looking for too. There are several terms for helping someone out and then bragging about it online, depending on the nuance of the action. I would agree with that too. I would agree. Yeah. These terms all suggest that the helpful act was performed for personal gain rather than genuine goodwill. And it's always, when you're bragging, it's for personal gain. And that's why. See, I'm tired of recovery being big business. It fails in that situation every time. Right? That's why we need professionals. And sure, there are some people that get sober, get into recovery, and become professionals. Absolutely. Sure, happens all the time. Okay, talking 500-600 hours of at least education. So you've got the experience, so you're halfway there. Okay, but experience doesn't account for education, and education doesn't account for experience. Got to have both. Okay, if you are an alcoholic. If you're a non-alcoholic, you need the education. You're not going to be able to have the experience. But a lot of times the people that do go into work in this area come from an alcoholic home. It's usually the lost child or the hero. Those are the two that go on to have servants' hearts. But here again, they are still spiritually sick. They came from a dysfunctional family. So in this industry, there's also a lot of codependency. And it is something that people are not looking at in the professional field. They're being codependent. And I can see it even in putting together this detox. I can see the codependency. Oh, well, they want to coddle them. I'm like, no, we are not going to coddle. Okay. I'm not their waitress. I'm not their servant. Basic human respect. Oh, yeah. I'll go for that all day. Need a new set of clothes. You need to take a shower. You need some help. You need to get something done. Let's get it done. Let's get it taken care of for you so you feel like a human being again. You need something to eat? I'll go grab you something to eat. What do you like? Absolutely, I will do that. Okay. Basic human respect, I will do. So what are some of the common terms? What are some of the things that we're talking about here when we do that? What is it that they are going after when we decide to brag? Well, number one, oh gosh, we all like those likes and loves. Gosh, they seem to make us feel good and things like that. But here's the thing: what I see is low self-esteem, and maybe you shouldn't be in the industry if your self-esteem is still that low. Maybe it's not time yet. Maybe you came into the industry a little too soon. Okay. Now we all heal at different levels, things like that. I didn't feel like I was even able to sponsor till I was about 5 years sober, maybe 4. I had a lot of extra work I had to do. All right. So virtue signaling. Look how virtuous I am. This is the look how high I can jump virtue. The most common term for this behavior. It refers to publicly expressing opinions or sentiments, especially on social media, to signal one's good character and morality to others. The act of bragging about a good deed online fits this perfectly because the focus is displaying your own virtuousness rather than the act of kindness itself. Now, are you willing to help somebody out without anybody in the world knowing about it? Are you okay with that? Because if not, don't get into this industry. If that's not something you can handle, do not get into this industry. It will drive you crazy because you're running around determining your own worth. No, you're not doing that. You're allowing other people to determine your worth. What are you looking for? A pat on the back? Okay. Then go to your therapist about it. Go to a closed mouth friend. If you need to get it off your chest because you're that excited, then go tell an appropriate person. Go tell a closed mouth friend. That way it stays with you and you can keep that altruism. That way it's about the deed and not what you did. Okay. Now, helping others can make you feel really, really good. Okay. I challenge you, go back through my stuff. Go through my stuff. At any point, do I bring up anybody and what I have done for them? No. You know what I do? I just do it. Because there's only one person in this whole world that it matters that sees it. That's God. God is the only person in my world that I need them to see it so that he knows what I'm doing, that I'm doing the right thing. Right? And I get benefits from that. Now, if you go help somebody out and you go online and brag about it and people tell you good job, there's your benefit, there's your accolade. You're not going to get the benefit, the spiritual benefit that you would get from God, because in your mind, it's closed, it's done with, and then you will not receive the actual benefit of a job well done. Welcome to gratitude. Welcome to peace of mind. See, we need a joy that lasts. That's just a cortisol shot that makes you feel good for a second. And then what does that lead to? Then it leads to resting on your laurels. Oh, I'll just go look to see. Oh, I put that post out yesterday about how well I helped this person out. Oh, look at all these what great comments. We're 2 days later, okay? And what is resting on your laurels? Resting on your laurels is taking success today for yesterday's actions. Now you're resting on your laurels and you're going to put that out and it's going to carry you. Oh, it's going to carry you through the week. Look how great I am. Such a good person. That's not self-esteem. That is pride. That is pride. If you had self-esteem, you wouldn't have felt the need to go online and brag about it. Performative altruism. This is what I call the I want to help. It doesn't matter the help. They just want to look good doing it. Our governor is doing it right now. Right now. Right? I won't go into why. I'm not a big fan of our governor. Of course, I'm not a big fan of any politician at the moment. Performative altruism. It's a performance. If I'm watching your video, right, and you're in recovery, and you have a filter on, and I know when you have a filter on, I can tell the difference. I don't believe you automatically. Automatically, I don't believe you. If you need to put a filter on, and that is the first step, that's just fake to me, and I ain't going for it. You just want to look pretty doing it. You're probably reading off a script too. I don't have a script. Everything I do is raw. This term describes engaging in charitable acts or helping others, helping behaviors, acts or other helping behaviors primarily to enhance one's public image, gain social approval, or boost one's own ego. A person broadcasting their act of kindness online for likes and validations is a classic example of this. Classic. People have been doing this for years. We tend to think that just because it's on social media, no, it's just a different avenue. It's just a different avenue. But it's still the same shit. It's the same stuff. They just want the attention on them. Right? And what is all this about? Lack of accountability. Total lack of accountability. Right? How many times is a person that you see do this come on and say, hey, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I do it all the time. I had to do it last week. Hey, I made a mistake. Now, don't you ever expect other people to do that for you. Don't. Or this stuff here will be you too. Right? See, they don't want the attention on you, so they're going to go do these other things. Well, see, I don't need the attention. In fact, I'm 17 minutes into this. Nobody's even here. So it's still going to get out. It's still going to help somebody. If I base it off that number, man, I'd never be here. I would never be here. Right? Doing it for clout. A more modern slang term, clout, refers to influence, power, and reputation, especially online. Posting about a good deed to gain social status, followers, or attention is referred to as doing it for clout. Woo! All right. So now you can understand kind of why you would do that. Maybe a little bit of motivation. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. All right. If it gave it to me and there's reasons, I do want to celebrate your success. I do want to do that. But it's got to be you that tells me you did it, if that makes sense. But it's got to be for you. Right? It's got to be your own story. Hey, Dion, I was going through this stuff and then I recognized this and I went and changed it by doing this. Great job. Great job. You can brag on that all day. And I will clap for you. Success. I want to hear about your progress. What I don't want to hear is how you did what you did and it helped them gain progress. No, if you're taking credit for what other people do, that's even worse. Do you think I got any of my sponsees sober? No. Do you think I kept them sober? No. No. I don't have the power to do that. I can't even do that for me. How am I going to do it for someone else? I can help people be willing. I can help clear away the ground a little bit. I can do certain things, but I can't do the work for you. You know that. So therefore, how can I take credit? Why? Because I went out of my way, because I took a little bit of time out of my day to go help somebody out, and now I should deserve an award for it. Come on. If that was the case, this whole wall would be full of awards. I wouldn't have enough room. Who cares? Who cares? Hey? Now, I'm not going to say that I don't appreciate the fact that people come to me and say, Dion, thank you for this. And you know what I do? I say, you're welcome, but you did the work. You're the one that had to go through that. I went through mine. I got through it. All right? You know, so when it's your stuff and you made it through and you did the work, yeah, that's not for me, that isn't bragging. But when we go and we say how you changed this person's life, no, that is bragging. Hi, Amber. It's howdy doody time. She says howdy doody. Slacktivism. That just means you're a slacker. This would literally be resting on your laurels. Okay? You're slacking. In other words, you're not doing well in this area, so you're going to go brag about this to make you feel better about that to balance yourself out. That's not balance. That is lying to yourself. Okay? While it can refer to low-effort forms of online activism, it can also be used to describe public displays of support for a cause that require little commitment or effort beyond the initial post. Some critics argue that posting a good deed online and then moving on is a form of slacktivism and substitutes low effort self-promotion for genuine sustained action. There again, I'm going to let my friends, the other people, if somebody wants to brag about me, they can do that. Dion went out of his way to help me out. And then if I get the chance, you know what I'm going to say? Hey, you know, they did the work. I didn't do anything my sponsor didn't do for me. There's going to be a ton of humility in there. Absolutely, you're welcome. Every time I get off the phone with sponsor Dion, you've done so much. I'm like, yeah, but you're getting ready to go do it too. Trust me. Okay. You're absolutely welcome. Absolutely, you are. I was very grateful that the person before me helped me out. You bet. But he didn't need me to go online and tell everybody about it. Amber says, I changed everyone's life for the better because they all live in Amber County. Such a Virgo thing. Also, I can't say that word. Also, I'm getting fracking killed on sales this week. Sad faces all day. You know, not every day is going to be, you know how it is. You know how it is. Get those no's and all day tomorrow you'll have yeses. So there are distinction does matter in this. Sure it does. Right? The core difference between genuinely kind act and one that is bragged about is the motivation. What is the motivation behind it? What are you trying to do? Right? Motivation / intention. Okay. Are we trying to cause more confusion than harmony? Because bragging does not create harmony. It creates jealousy. That's what it does. Yeah. And what is that? Well, guess what it is? It's a character defect. What's the other part of this? Fear. Fear that they're not going to get what they want, which is your attention. See? They're still living in a fear-based world. Not working. Anybody that is not willing to do, that does what I do, if they can't go on and be honest, like make a mistake in front of other people, you're listening to the wrong person. If they need to be perfect in what they're doing here and everything, how many times do I get interrupted? Do I have to walk away to go get a fan or maybe something else? I've even had to eat here sometimes. I do everything you're not supposed to do here. It doesn't matter, man. I don't need to be something else in order for you to like me. If you don't like me for who I am, that is fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I am not. I butt heads with people all the time. But then I look for that common landing ground so that both of us can at least agree on something and have a better day. Right? In a genuine act of kindness, the reward is seeing the other person helped. There's the reward. And if you need more than that, then you're just a selfish person. You're just selfish then. No. When you post about it online, your motive shifts towards seeking external validation and attention, which diminishes the perceived value of the original good deed. Now, if you're going to work in this industry, shouldn't you have done this stuff already? Shouldn't you already kind of have self-esteem? See, when I work with people in the industry, right? Like I'll be talking to a drug and alcohol counselor and they say something like, well, AA is a religious program. Right then and there, I know they have no clue as to what they're doing. Their motives are incorrect. Yeah. Drug and alcohol counselor not knowing what your resources are, that's horrible. That is a bad motivation. What are their intentions? Because they want to look good while helping others. And you know what that does? It kills people. Right? They see you do it. Oh, how many times, and people are always crying for attention out there. Almost every post with somebody's face in it where they did it personally is somebody trying to grab your attention. Even I'm trying to grab your attention. I'll admit it. Why do you think I work on titles and in the way I talk? Sure, I'm trying to grab your attention, but it is not required. My day is not going to change whether there's one person here or 20. It's not going to change my day. Authenticity. And without an authenticity in recovery, man, I got you. Working in the recovery field, okay, and I've worked in a lot of different fields. I've had to be more transparent in this field than any other field I've been in. This is the most transparent. I did a lot of sales too. All right. The act of broadcasting a good deed can be viewed as inauthentic. Instead of being a private moment of genuine care, it becomes a public performance designed to manage one's online image. Now, the hard part is this. Everything's about reviews, about images, right? Hey, I wasn't satisfied with your B&B. Yeah, right. Well, you better give me a discount. I'm going to give you 1 star. I ain't shitting you. That's the conversations going on nowadays. It's not going to be long till everybody's credit score is based upon how everybody else likes you. And this is all done intentionally. They want you to be addicted to other people's thoughts of you because you're easier to control when it's that way. This will bring the suicide rate up. It's going to skyrocket. Addiction will go up. Alcoholism will go up. It will get worse. Yeah. Amber says you can't be authentic and dishonest at the same time. That's right. It'll show. It'll show. People run around there. Oh, God this, God that. And then they turn around and show no humility for what they do. They're never wrong. All right, let's see if they have anything else to say on this, and then I'm going to wrap it up. All right. Why do people brag on social media? People brag on social media to gain attention and validation, driven by a desire for a dopamine rush from the likes and comments that makes them feel valued and important. Yeah. If those are the reasons you're posting, man, I got caught up in that crap. I quit doing it. It's been a long time since I cared about what anybody on social media thought of me. All right. So I think we covered it. I think anything else after this would just be me ranting, and There's no need for that. There's more about educating, thinking a little bit before we do something. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.